It's time now for Voices of the Region, when we hear from an area journalist about stories making news. This week, our guest is Marshall Helmberger, publisher of the Timberjay News in Tower.
This week, we're reporting on the proposed North Met copper-nickel mine near Hoyt Lakes, which has suffered another body blow, this time delivered by the state Supreme Court, which has reversed the proposed mine's state-issued water discharge permit. The ruling, issued Wednesday of this week, comes on top of the recent decision by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to rescind the proposed mine's wetlands permit. You know, it's amazing how far the fortunes of this company have fallen. The mine had appeared ready to move forward back in 2018 when it received the last of its operating permits, but legal challenges to most of its key permits have been largely successful and have put the future of the proposed mining operation in serious doubt. The courtroom deliberations also revealed some questionable decision-making by the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, which appears to have bent over backward at times to accommodate the proposed mine rather than serving as a watchdog and regulator. And that was a point made by the High Court in its decision this week, which faulted the MPCA in reversing the permit. And to read from the decision, it says, "We conclude there are danger signals suggesting that the MPCA did not take a hard look at whether the permit complies with the Clean Water Act, and that the MPCA did not genuinely engage in reasoned decision-making in dealing with concerns that were raised by the EPA. We therefore conclude that the action taken by the MPCA in issuing the permit was arbitrary and capricious, and remand to the MPCA for further proceedings." So, you know, for the High Court, those are pretty stern words. And we're also reporting on the decision by the Bois Forte band to do a feasibility study on opening its own recreational marijuana dispensary on the reservation, most likely at its Fortune Bay Resort and Casino. The state's landmark marijuana law, which legalized the recreational use of marijuana as of Tuesday of this week, gives tribes the ability to set their own rules regarding recreational marijuana sales and use on reservations, and that could give the state's native bands at least a short-term advantage when it comes to sales of the product. While it's now legal to smoke marijuana in Minnesota, the only place that Minnesotans can currently buy it legally is at Red Lake. The Red Lake Reservation opened its own dispensary on Tuesday, and there were long lines, and they quickly sold out of their available product. But the state is being quite deliberative in setting the rules and establishing the process for opening dispensaries elsewhere, and it could be more than a year before the first shops open off reservations. And band leaders will also be reaching out to band members to hear their views on the subject before making a decision one way or another. They've typically sought that input before undertaking any significant commercial venture. But assuming that band members give the green light, the band could be conducting its own sales of marijuana perhaps as early as the end of the year. And finally, we're reporting on the latest antlerless deer quotas in northeastern Minnesota, where recent snowy winters have hit the deer population pretty hard. As a result, most deer permit areas in the Arrowhead will be limited to bucks only this year, and those permit areas that do offer doe tags will be offering significantly fewer than last year in most cases. Deer licenses for this fall's hunt are now on sale through licensed vendors or online through the DNR, and hunters hoping to receive an antlerless permit will need to purchase their license by Thursday, September 7th, in order to be entered in the lottery. Hunters, of course, in much of northern St. Louis and Lake and Cook counties won't need to apply since they'll be limited to bucks only during the 2023 regular firearms deer season, and that gets underway Saturday, November 4th and runs through Sunday, November 19th.